The perfect addition to the Brussels skyline, a 70-metre tall platform that goes round and round in circles. It's a great place to get an overview of Europe's big year. The first big event affects one of the buildings over there, the European Parliament, because there's elections to it in May. And the way the wind's blowing at the moment, it could be in for a historic realignment. Polls across Europe suggest that far left, far right and extreme Eurosceptic parties could be on the up.
Do they organise themselves into an efficient legislative machine that will achieve what they want, try and undo bits of legislation, try and roll back the political frontiers of Europe? Or will they simply become a sort of blocking, obstructive group that sit on their hands and try and stop things from happening?
But the excitement doesn't end there, because then a new president of the European Commission needs to be selected. Gentlemen, are you going to miss all this by the end of the year?
Still working.
He's still working until November. By then, a replacement needs to be found. And frankly, it's a merry-go-round. For the first time ever, the 7 pan-European political groups in the Parliament have picked their own candidates for the job, because the Lisbon Treaty says the appointment should reflect the results of the European elections. But the final choice will be made by the national leaders at a summit, and they don't want their hands tied, so there's a good chance they'll take no notice. But their decision goes back to Parliament, where it has to be approved by a majority, who might kick up a fuss. Then the leaders and the new president select a commissioner from each member state, and the Parliament can veto all of them. Confused? Well, so are they. No one's quite sure how all this back and forth will actually work. Please remain seated. The ride's not over yet. Because the President of the Council, Herman Van Rompuy, who chairs the EU summits, leaves office this year too. He's not exactly been high profile. Will the new person in the seat make more of a mark? Oh, and did I mention, Cathy Ashton, the EU's foreign policy supremo, is out the door as well. It really is enough to make your head spin, but fear not. Here's the really, really easy version.
By the end of the year, it will have set in motion the way Europe moves from here over the next 5 years. So it's not so much what happens during the year, but what's in place by the end of the year will really set off Europe on a course which could be very different from that which we see at the moment.